The reimagining of the former Royal Victoria Hospital site promises to be a source of pride for all Montrealers, Quebecers, and Canadians. And McGill University is pleased to participate in the Office de Consultation Publique de Montréal consultation process for the Master Development Plan of this important and ambitious project. McGill's Nouveau Vic project is an essential component of the Société québécoise des infrastructures master plan. With the support of government authorities, we have prepared a proposal to transform part of the old Royal Victoria Hospital into a state-of-the-art research, teaching, and learning hub dedicated to sustainability system and public policy. McGill has developed this ambitious infrastructure project to rally the McGill community, Indigenous communities, and Montreal community groups around the projects. The Nouveau Vic will not only be a milestone for McGill interdisciplinary response to contemporary environmental challenges, it will also provide a global vision and a collaborative framework that will unify the entire Royal Vic site. We are proud to present our project to you.
There are few places that are as interwoven into the life of its city than the Royal Victoria Hospital site at the cusp of Mount Royal. The mountain was a deeply meaningful place to Indigenous people, and both in oral history and archaeological research, its importance is well established. The Royal Victoria Hospital on Mount Royal established its presence in the 1880s within the emerging cultural landscape of Montreal. The mountain, a natural beacon for the city, was positively influenced by the work of the great landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted. The design of the Nouveau Vic presents a number of compelling challenges. Foremost is the need for a clear approach towards heritage rehabilitation that includes the guiding principle for the site, its Indigenous heritage, Montreal and McGill University. The task is not straightforward, so the design team have referred extensively to existing documentation, analysis codes, and dialogue with many stakeholders. The Provost and Vice Principal established a task force on Indigenous studies and Indigenous education. The university's campus master plan builds on this work by ensuring that Indigenous spaces are integrated into all aspects of university planning, including plans for the Royal Victoria Hospital site.
The original buildings, referred to as Pavilions A, E, and L, seen clearly in this photograph, were designed by London-based architect Henry Saxon Snell in the Scottish baronial style. These buildings are based on a pavilion hospital concept in which the separation and isolation of both patients and diseases were thought to discourage the spread of infection. These three pavilions frame the forecourt along Pine Avenue and present the original composition on the site. From its initial development as a series of pavilions in the landscape, the site has been heavily developed to its current condition today, obscuring much of the open and accessible qualities of the original experience. In the process, the city's connection to the mountain has been lost, while the previous forecourt has been replaced by a parking lot. In response, the Nouveau Vic project is designed to have an open, transparent, and accessible landscape that will contribute to the life of the city and beyond. The landscape design has also been informed by the wider precinct, including Olmsted's influence and the extension of his idea of a green côte placide, a gentle slope which mediates between the built city and natural mountain.
The Nouveau Vic project represents McGill's expansion of its main campus onto a historically significant component of the Royal Victoria Hospital site, north of Pine Avenue. In doing so, it also allows McGill to contribute positively to the city as it participates, along with the Société québécoise des infrastructures, in an act of significant city building. In rehabilitating and reinventing the RVH site, McGill will be guided by a number of complementary principles. This is an opportunity to heal the site. From Pine Avenue, you will see a restored forecourt. A new entrance pavilion is surrounded with green lawn and native plants. This revitalized forecourt will become a new symbol for the university. And there is much more beyond the forecourt to the project. An ambitious level of rehabilitation will be undertaken to stabilize, repair, and renew the ensemble of heritage buildings forming the entry forecourt on Pine Avenue. And the slab buildings referred to as M and S will be removed. This removal will reduce the overall building height by 15 meters. When initially constructed, these buildings replaced major heritage components on the site and essentially bifurcated the site into two sections. Part of the sustainability goals for the project involves the selective and careful deconstruction of these buildings and the recovery of building elements like the limestone facades. The removal of the parking garage allows the greening of the forecourt. With the existing parking structure removed, the pastoral landscape character of the original design will be restored, and new teaching and gathering spaces will be built beneath the courtyard.
The new architecture connects the city and the mountain. Because of its location on the south side of Mount Royal, the landscape design will adopt and extend Olmsted's original ideas. The new landscape extends the topography and local flora of the mountain into the site, both in the forecourt and via a terraced public green roof, providing new open green spaces and panoramic views of the city. It also continues the promenade fleuve-montagne through the site. The stepping roofs follow the lines of the site's natural topography. They step in harmony with the roof lines of Saxon Snell's original pavilions. The rooftops will be planted with native species and outdoor terraces will be accessible to the public. These roof terraces present an opportunity to acknowledge Indigenous connection to the land through, for example, medicinal or healing plants and gardens. You can see in this view the result of the new design. The architecture overall is balanced. The mountain is visible above the roofline of the Snell pavilions and the forecourt is restored.
Access to and through the site is significantly enhanced, with universally accessible entrances along University, Pine, and within the forecourt. In addition, a new exterior staircase creates a route through the eastern side of the site, linking the plateaus and the forecourt. This new plaza is one of the 3 entrances on Pine Avenue and leads directly to the new teaching and gathering spaces beneath the forecourt. A stair along the north edge of the plaza takes you either to the new entrance pavilion, a skylight rotunda at the center of the forecourt, or the restored historical main entrance, which connects straight through the building's main central atrium. The central gateway from Pine will also be restored, so this historical entrance can once again be experienced. On University, the historical facades will be restored, and a new level entrance will connect directly to the new building's main central space. The bridge link to the Neurological Institute will be maintained. This view from the mezzanine, inside the new rotunda, looks down to the central event space beneath the forecourt. And this is the main historical entrance, which will be revived. It links directly to the building's main space as well. The building adopts the principle of a living lab, showcasing the core research and policy activities within, inviting the public in and expressing both the sustainable design and wellness initiatives that are embedded in the project.
The spaces between the heritage buildings are re-established as links to create permeability and movement throughout the project. The core of this approach is a series of light-filled atria and interior courtyards. These act as a crossroads for ideas, collaboration, exploration, and exposition. These courtyards will reveal existing facades that were previously hidden. These large open spaces present an opportunity to display Indigenous art and recognize indigeneity in the project. When the Royal Vic transforms to the Nouveau Vic, it will represent many fundamental changes in how a university defines itself in the 21st century. First and foremost, the students and faculty at the Nouveau Vic will not be defined by their departments, but by their activities. Much of the program space is dedicated to research laboratories. Beyond the traditional ways of working isolated in labs, this community of researchers will also collaborate in discovery hubs, labs dedicated to bringing people together from different disciplines to share ideas and knowledge. One of the key academic principles of this project is learning everywhere. And so the program recognizes that many of the best ideas don't come inside the lab or the office, but in the conversations and collaborations that happen as you move through the building. Seen as a whole, the activities of McGill at the Nouveau Vic support both research and learning for a new generation of student inspired to solve the challenges of the day. All of this happens in a building that itself is a living lab, not only in making visible the work that goes on, but in striving for the high standards of environmental responsibility in its design. At the heart of the design approach will be a commitment to sustainable design. Low carbon systems will inform the overall mandate of the project. A geothermal array is used to provide upwards of 50% of the heating load of the new building. For more information on the sustainable initiative and targets for this project, please refer to our supporting documentation.
The young people of today are ready to change the world. They have ideas, they are motivated, they are determined. McGill's Nouveau Vic project will help them achieve their goals by accelerating the momentum already underway. McGill is already committed to the rapid transition to carbon-free economies and the fight against climate change. The Nouveau Vic is the next stage of our commitment. Located at the foot of Mount Royal, this project will create a world-class teaching and research facility that is respectful of the site's rich history and is fully integrated into the living environment. The Nouveau Vic will serve as a model for the responsible redevelopment of heritage buildings and the construction of buildings that meet the highest standards of sustainable design and construction. In addition to helping the university community advance its teaching and research missions, the Nouveau Vic will actively engage partners, community groups, and citizens participating in an exciting intellectual environment. This will be a place of openness, connection, and purpose. The Nouveau Vic team thanks you for your participation in these consultations and looks forward to your questions and comments.